Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. This is another clip taken from stream where I've chopped up the highlights and turns of the EZA SSJ4 GOGETA against the legendary Vegeta event. Obviously we done it the first time against the GT Goku event where I took it from the GT Heroes run and he was amazing, and the same could be said for this. This is the sequel to him being amazing. One of the major advantages in this one though is of course he does have type advantage against SSBE, which means the crazy damage that he already does, he's doing even more with that type advantage. But don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and also let me know what you think of the EZA TEQ SSJ4 GOGETA. Now, one thing I will say is, I mean, you saw it right there, his attack stat starting off over 300k is kind of insane. Like, it's crazy how easy it is to just pull out like not only 5.3 more attack stats with him, but also it's just crazy to think that he just does damage like this with little to no effort, no build up, no nothing, no stack, no just you link him up with the SSJ4s, bang, watch him go. That's literally all it is, and it's kind of crazy that he's that good. You know, especially when he does have the additional attack and defense plus 25% that goes up to 50% that he has for 5 turns for the amount of super attacks he performs. He's already putting out good damage as it is. His defense is already in a solid spot, especially once he super attacks and greatly raises attack and defense for the turn as well. But then having the extra 25% or the extra 50%, you know, again, depending on how many super attacks you perform for 5 turns, he's then putting out 6.4 million attack stats like you just saw there, with also a high chance of attacks being effective against all types. And then combined with the fact you may have dupes in him where you can hit crits, this man is doing a whole lot of damage for little to no effort required, which is just kind of insane. You know, I put him in slot 1 a lot of the time in this, because obviously if I put the LRSSJ4s in slot 1, you probably wouldn't have seen too much from Gogeta. And you know, even when he doesn't have, or even when the 5 turns are kind of up, and he doesn't have the full 50% or only has 25% or none of it, he's still tanking double digits on basics. You know, the more he has of the extra 25%, for supers and then the 50%, of course he's tanking even better. I mean, with over 200k defense at the start of turn, he's obviously going to be tanking very well, or even just under that. One of the major things as well, he does have the chance to counter. Unfortunately, he didn't get it off here, but I mean, considering he had type disadvantage there and I hadn't performed a super attack yet, having not even 200k defense and tanking that for 180k with type disadvantage is actually pretty impressive. You know, again, as I said, in the events, especially here until you get to SSBE, I mean, you're not going to need it against him anyway, because of the type advantage. Having the chance to counter is also very handy, you know, avoiding any damage, conserving items, doing, you know, decent damage back without really taking any. 9 mil damage with no crit on the Dokkan attack, by the way. But yeah, even in slot 1, which is not his ideal position, as I said, I pretty much put him there because I didn't want the LRSSJ4s to just, you know, just completely dominate the event and me not be able to show off the Gogeta at all. And I said he done really well there. For a unit that isn't built to be in slot 1, he done really well there. And as I said, with the additional attack and defense up to 50% for 5 turns, he's tanking incredibly well. Even without it, he's still tanking incredibly well, and having that counter as kind of like a safety policy is also very handy, especially, of course, if it does come off. And then ideally, when you put him in slot 2, one of the major things Gogeta has going for him in a longer event like this is, yes, you can run him in slot 1, and then the SSJ4s are kind of chilling in slot 2, building themselves up, stacking the entire time. Which, by the way, that's a major bonus in itself. That is a major brownie point of the EZA SSJ4 Gogeta works so well with the LRSSJ4s, which is just fantastic. Yes, there's not really a slot 1 unit out of the 2, which would have made the rotation even better. But in an event like this, where the event's getting gradually more difficult and you've got the SSJ4s stacking, and ideally you would have them in slot 1, Gogeta can chill in slot 2 where he's meant to be, where he can greatly raise his attack and defense on super, and then after that, defensively he's in a great spot. Again, especially if you do have that part of his passive where you have the additional attack and defense plus 25% and also up to the 50%. Combine that with the fact he's going to greatly raise his attack and defense by 50% for the turn. Defensively, he's amazing. Defensively, he will tank, again, every basic for double digits. He'll probably take next to nothing on super. And I mean, especially while having type advantage against SSBE, and even if he does get his defense load, which I don't think Gogeta gets super attacked. Oh no, he does. He actually gets super attack straight away, which I actually completely forgot about. But yeah, no super attack, and he took 100k. Bearing in mind, he just had his defense lowered. We're going to raise it back up with his super attack. And that's what you do. You have the SSJ4s in slot 1, stacking up the entire time. And if you get an additional, look at that, almost a 7 mil attack stat. Because you've greatly raised your attack and defense twice. 5 mil crit. Honestly, he's ridiculous. And then back to double digits, or even just 9 damage. 9 damage. But yeah, you know, you have the SSJ4s in slot 1 stacking up the entire time. They're doing their thing. You're getting them 20 key or more. You know, they're stacking up potentially 2 times. You get an additional, they're stacking up 3 times. They're chilling in slot 1. They're defensively fine. Then Gogeta chills in slot 2, where you ideally want him to be, because then he can super attack, greatly raise his attack and defense for the turn. Also have the extra attack and defense in his passive for each super attack performed. And then defensively, he's good for the turn. You know, his defense isn't in, you know, astronomical levels, but his defense will be in a pretty good spot. Again, especially if you do have that part of his passive where he'll have like just over 200k defense for the turn, and then combine that with raising his attack and defense by 50% on super. Yeah, his defense is in a pretty good spot. You know, in a pretty good spot. And, you know, and especially here, again, he's going to be tanking for next to nothing. He's doing insane amounts of damage. Not only here because of the type advantage, he's doing insane amounts of damage, as you've been seeing, especially if he hits a crit and getting that high chance of attacks being effective against all types. He's doing insane amounts of damage while being defensively solid, and you not having to worry about him with items or worried that he's going to get supered and get you killed. If he gets supered even before he super attacks, he's going to soak up a lot of the damage. You're still going to be fine, especially with the teams you're going to be running him on. You're going to have like 600k health minimum, so 100k health on a super in the grand scheme of things, in the long run, isn't really too much health to lose, you know, especially the circumstances. But his EZA is honestly phenomenal. Like, I love it so much, and I can't wait to try him in the latter stages of Red Zone, which should be coming in a few days. But yeah, I mean, one of the major things with the Vegeta event is he has type advantage here, so he's just decimating, even though he was decimating already. But let me know what you think of him down in the comments. Need to try him in SBR soon as well, see how he does there. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next video, guys, and bye.